بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء نحوا سنقرئك فلا تنسى.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين. Inshallah, this is going to be lesson 8, rules of invalidators of fast. As I mentioned previously, there are some private rules related to husband and wife issues, sexual issues. Those we are not going to publish them for everybody. However, those who are interested can send us a request. We can open the link for them. We can send you the link due to the sensitivities of the community and this and that. So we can't publish lectures which are, we call it rated lectures, rated R lectures. So there are some rules related to rated issues. So we are going to keep uploaded, but only those people can access them who have the link, and inshallah we can send them the link if so. At this point we are going to continue the invalidators of fasting. So we have this enema, the ninth invalidator. So basically enema are two types. One is like a solid and one is liquid. Solid is like those suppositories which they give to a person who has fever. So basically, especially the children where they don't take the medicine and they're very sensitive to a certain medicine. So they give them suppository because suppository is fast affecting than the regular tablets, pills like Alvedon or Panadol. So these Panadol, there are Panadol suppositories. So it goes into the body fast because of the intestine's ability to absorb fast. So it absorbs the medicine and goes into blood. So they use this. So this is solid. Solid, there is no problem in it. The forbidden part is the liquid one. Liquid enema, for example, you have many people, they have this constipation, they have not used the bathroom for like about 1 week or something like that. So they have this severe case of constipation and they might become seriously sick and they might die. So when he goes to the hospital and the doctor gives him some medications and he is not able to dispose his stomach content, so there is a syringe of fluid, solid fluid, saline fluid. So they inject into the intestine from behind and then everything comes out. So that is called solid liquid enema. So see this system says التاسع, ninth invalidator. الاحتقان الاحتقان بالمائع. مائع means liquid. ولو مع الاضطرار إليه لمرض. Even if it was due to the necessity, due to the sickness. So let's say if somebody wants to do this احتقان, what will happen? That obviously if somebody is sick, we are not talking about that person because he's exempt. That person is exempt. But we are talking about the person who want to fast, but he has to take the enema. So if we say if you are forced to take enema and the only solution you have is the enema, then you can take the enema. What can we do? Then you are considered a sick person. But if you can avoid enema and if you take it intentionally, then your fast is invalid and you have to pay the penalty. But if you're under necessity, then you don't have to pay penalty. Only you have to make up your fast. So that's the difference we mentioned. That we mentioned if somebody takes an invalidator intentionally, he will have to make up and give the penalty. If somebody has to break his fast out of necessity, then he will only give a make-up qada. So that is the difference. If somebody did not know, I mean, he just did it, and then they were told, no, this is an invalidator. So then that is another case as well. So therefore, وَلَوْ مَعَ الْإِضْطِرَارِ إِلَيْهِ لِمَرَضٍ, even if it was due to the necessity such as sickness, necessity of sickness. So, وَلَا بَأْسَ بِالْجَامِدِ, there is no problem in taking the solid enema, the suppository. وَإِنْ كَانَ الْأَحْوَطِ اسْتِحْبَابًا اجْتِنَابُهُ, even though it is recommended precaution to avoid it, as there is no problem in whatever a woman inserts, whether it is a solid or a liquid, in her private part, and this could be due to the hygiene purpose, so there is no problem in it. Ruling number 1006. If a person injects an enema, so the enema was injected, but it did not go inside. It did not go inside, okay? It was just on the exterior part of the canal, rear canal, okay? So in that case, what will happen? إذا احتقن بالماء, if a person takes this enema, لكن لم يصعد إلى الجوف, it did not rise inside all the way, بل كان بمجرد الدخول في الدبر, it just went into the rectal area and then it came out. لم يكن مفطرا, it will not be invalidator. So it did not reach all the way inside the rectum, but it was just in the anal area. So then it will not be an invalidator, even though it's recommended precaution to avoid it. So as we know, we go to the physiology. So there is this rectum and there is this anal. So anal canal and rectal canal. So the anal canal is on the exterior side. Rectum is inside. So basically the anal side, if the enema goes inside and comes out, there's no problem. However, if it reaches all the way inside the rectum, then that is going to be an invalidator. But Agha Sistani says it's recommended precaution, avoid this also. So, but it will not invalidate. If it does not go inside all the way, it will not be invalidator. Ruling number 1007 from MINHAAJ الصالحين. يجوز الاحتقان, it is permissible to do enema بما يشك في كونه جامدا أو مائعا. He doubts whether this substance is solid or liquid. Let's say it was a suppository. Then the suppository, the doctors, they tell you to keep it in the deep freezer because at the room temperature, it melts down. Okay, so somebody who has never seen suppository, a person gave him this suppository. So this suppository, kind of meltish kind of situation. Okay, so he did not know, is it like a solid enema or a liquid enema? In that case, Ayatollah Sistani says one can have that even though it is recommended precaution to avoid it. Okay, so it is permissible to insert a substance that is hesitated in being a solid or a liquid, even though it is recommended precaution to avoid it. Now the 10th invalidator, the vomiting, my favorite subject. Anyhow, so the vomiting, I know you have your iftar and now you might be having your sehri or that, but rules are rules, just inna Allah ma'as sabirin. I'm not going to go into very animated examples and explicit examples. I'll just go through it because I've given enough animated example and explicit details. 10th, ta'ammud al-qay. So that vomiting is of two types. We gave you 6 scenarios of vomiting in previous session. so you can go to that session. So vomiting here, we can say it's two types. One is intentional, one is unintentional. Intentional, guys, does something, irritates his throat and whoops, comes out everything. So that is intentional vomiting. Other, no. He's like chatting with the family and this and that, and suddenly he stands up and leaves everybody, and people say, oh, what's happening, what's happening? And you hear the sounds of vomit, whops, whops in the restroom. And so that's kind of suddenly, that does not invalidate the fast. But there's a misconception. People, they think that vomiting invalidates the fast. Not any vomiting, intentional vomiting. That vomiting game, which we said, or due to the necessity, somebody vomited intentionally. So then he will not have kafara, but he will have a qada. Why? Because intentionally. But if somebody, like everybody, like people are watching nice Mahi Ramadan drama and Islamic movie or something like that, and suddenly one person pops up and immediately runs. The people, what's happening? And then you hear sounds in the bathroom, like, so he did not plan to vomit. So that is not an invalidator. That the fast is okay. No worries, okay? So, ta'ammud al-qay, intentional vomiting. Even if it was due to the necessity, the fast will become invalid. However, necessity, no kafara, no penalty. Without necessity, he has urge, he entertains in vomiting, enjoys vomiting, for example. So if, without any case of necessity, then the vomiting it will inflict kafara, will cause a kafara, he has to pay penalty. وإن كان لضرورة من علاج مرض ونحوه, even if it was for a necessity cause, such as treating a sickness, they've had a food poison. So he needs to quickly vomit and take everything out before it goes into the blood and causes serious ramification. ولا بأس بما كان سهوا أو من غير اختيار. You forgot that it is the holy month of Ramadan. So there is no problem in somebody who forgot or somebody unwillingly. The guy who said immediately stood up into the bathroom and we don't know what's happening. So the vomit came. Or no, sahwan, he forgot. He forgot that it's holy month of Ramadan, or he forgot that if one should not intentionally vomit. So we'll say there's no problem in it. Now, ruling number 1008, burping. Burping or belching. So, يجوز للصائم التجشؤ. It is permissible for a fasting person to burp or to belch, like kind of thing, like after you drink Coke, you can hear that things, that kind of thing happen. Or the babies, you pat the baby and rub, with the burp, the half of the milk comes out on your shoulder. Because I'm a father, I've been to this situation, so that's what I'm saying. So, so therefore, burping. So burping could be dry, or burping could be with vomit. So anyhow, it is permissible to burp or to belch, even if there was a probability, minor probability. Now focus with this point. Minor probability, or you know. So if you know that something is going to come out, okay, and it's going to be like a vomit, it's going to be hefty amount, then don't burp, please. Try to put a silencer in your burp and make it a light, smooth kind of burp so that things do not come out with it. That is, so that is it. But no, you're not sure something will come out. So if you had this, you are not sure, and you had this minor probability, maybe something might come out. If I do, maybe something might come out. يجوز التجشؤ. It is permissible to burp for the fasting person, even if there was a minor probability that some of the food or drink might come out. However, it is obligatory precaution, والأحوط لزوما ترك ذلك, to avoid it, مع اليقين, with certainty, بِخُرُوجِهِ. If you are sure that food will come out, then obligatory precaution, don't barp. I don't know if barping is voluntary or not. Can somebody hold his barp? I don't know. So, so obligatory precaution, don't barp. If you are sure that food will come out or drink will come out, don't barp. But not any food and any drink will come out. The food and drink which is considered vomiting, if like mild thing will come out, that's not considered vomiting. Vomiting, like when you barp and the barp converts to a vomit, everything out. That, if you know that's going to happen, please don't barp. But if no, you don't know, you can barp. If you know that small things will come out, not like a vomit, then it's okay. Barp and there's no problem. However, don't let that content which came up go back inside. Then you have swallowed something. So that's next ruling. So now this ruling is something wants to come out. Probability, it's okay, you can barp. Certainty, you can barp unless if the amount will be considered a vomiting amount. This is last ruling. I know the iftar and the suhoor and the, so ruling number 1009. If something came out, now don't let it go back. If something came out by barping, ثم نزل من غير اختيار, but it came up and then automatically it went down, or without any awareness, without any option, then it will not invalidate the fast. However, if it comes inside the buccal or mouth cavity, the cavity of the mouth, and no, that's my delicious food, I can't let it go out, you took the barp inside back, the food went inside from the mouth. Maybe you had nice MINHAAJ and you don't want to let it go or something like that. So sweet or something, brownie or whatsoever, and it came in your mouth and you don't want to let it go, and that's disgusting. I will vomit now. So therefore, if that comes out in the mouth, cavity of the mouth, you have to spit it out. You can't swallow it back, because vomiting is forbidden, swallowing is forbidden. So you kind of stuck between two. You can't vomit it out if it is here, but if it is in your mouth, then you have to throw it. You have to spit it out. وَمَّا إِذَا وَصَلَ إِلَى فَضَاءِ الْفَمِ, and if it reaches the cavity of the mouth, فَابْتَلَعَهُ اخْتِيارًا. Really, this guy was hungry. So he swallowed it intentionally, with options, willingly. بَطَلَ صَوْمُهُ. His fast will be invalid. وَعَلَيْهِ كَفَّارَةٌ. And there is a penalty on him on the basis of obligatory precaution. I think that's done for the barping and vomiting. No, one more is there. One more is there. Okay, we said you cannot swallow it. Okay. Now, this is another issue. This is another. So that barping is done and vomiting is done. This is a bit decent ruling. Ruling number 1010. إِذَا ابْتَلَعَ شَيْئًا. You were eating something, okay? You kept it in your mouth, and you are going to swallow it. Before it reaches the throat, oh my goodness, I'm fasting today. Okay? Spit it out. Spit it out. Unless if you spit it out and your fast will be okay. So if it did not reach the halaq, it was just upper area. Why? Because if it goes down and you will try to take it out, there will be vomiting, intentional. So if it has not gone in, take it out. Okay? Maybe you enjoyed a nice halal or nice piece of MINHAAJ or nice piece of thing, and you kept in the mouth, and you're, oh no, I'm fasting. Spit it out. Don't say, no, it's just inside here. Gulp it down. No. If nobody is watching, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching. So, فَتَذَكَّرَ قَبْلَ أَنْ يَصِلَ إِلَى الْحَلَقِ. He remembered that he is fasting before he reached the throat. وَجَبَ إِخْرَاجُهُ. it becomes obligatory to take it out. وَصَحَّ صَوْمُهُ, and his fast will be considered correct. What if it reaches here to a point where you swallow it, it will not be considered that you ate because it's already half away. Ate, if you put it here and it comes here, that's eating. But it's already here, okay? So if he remembers that he's fasting, بعد وصوله, after the bite reaches the area of the throat, which if you allow it to go down back again, it will not be considered eating, okay? فلا يجب إخراجه, then it is not obligatory to take it out. Moreover, بل لا يجوز, on the contrary, لا يجوز إذا صدق عليه التقيؤ. It is not permissible if you are going to take that thing out from here, it will be considered vomiting. So if it will be considered vomiting, don't take it out. You must not take it out. وإن شك في ذلك, you don't know it is here or it is here, okay? You don't know it has gone all the way down or it is just here on the throat side, and in the process of going down. وإن شك في ذلك وجب الإخراج. If you don't know it's here or here, so it's here or here, then you have to take it out because we consider the minimum. So the minimum distance is this, that's maximum distance. So whenever there's a doubt in the distance, minimum or maximum, we take the minimum. Okay. Again, vomiting. Ruling number 1011. If someone swallows something at night, which will cause him to vomit in the day, then his fast will be invalid if he vomits. So his fast will be invalid if he vomits. But if he does not vomit, there is another section. So now this is section 1. Because he knows that he's going to vomit, and he intentionally eats that stuff which might make him vomit. That means he's intentionally making an intention of invalidating the fast next day, which we said is one of the invalidators. So if he does the vomiting, then obviously he has this fast broken. Or no, أو لم يكن عازما على ترك التقيؤ مع الالتفات إلى كونه مانعا عن صحة الصوم. No, he was planning not to avoid vomiting. I am going to vomit. Let's rest assured, I'm going to vomit. Like, he did not make an intention not to vomit. He knew that he's eating something, but he did not make an intention not to vomit. That means not to avoid an invalidator. And he with his realization that it is one of the invalidators. مع الالتفات إلى كونه مانعا عن صحة الصوم. في الوقت الذي لا يجوز تأخير النية إليه اختيارا. In a time which you can't delay the intention. Let's say you're not planning to fast, and you had this vomiting sensation or medicine and this and that. So like if you did not make an intention, so to make an intention, you have to make it before Fajr or with the time of Fajr, as we mentioned, because you did not have intention. You're sick, you're not planning to fast, now you want to fast, so now you have made your intention. So if you are going to do it in a time which is very narrowed to make an intention, so he says, and for qada, Dhuhr time is the narrowed time for the intention. So he في الوقت الذي لا يجوز تأخير النية. That means he cannot switch his niyyah anymore if it's after the Fajr or it's after the Dhuhr. So if before this time لا يجوز تأخير النية إليه اختيارا. And this time of the niyyah we mentioned, it differs from the types of the fasting. We mentioned that wajibat, dhuhr, wajib, specific wajib, fajr, mustahab fast before maghrib. But obviously we are talking about here about the wajib fast. إذا لم يكن عازما على ترك أو لم يكن عازما على ترك التقيؤ. He was planning not to avoid vomiting. If it comes, he will enjoy it. He will just let it go. And he realized that it is invalidator. So, but as long as he has some time, في الوقت الذي لا يجوز تأخير النية, in a time where he should not delay. But at night time, it's okay. But close to Fajr, no, don't do it. Or close to Dhuhr for Qadha, don't do it. But in the morning, you want to do it, still you have option, your time, there is a lot of time there. ولا فرق في ذلك كله بينما إذا انحصر إخراج ما ابتلعه بالقيء وعدم الانحصار به. Now what you swallowed, okay, which you know that is going to come out, it doesn't matter whether it's going to come out by vomiting or it's going to come out by any other means, but you know it is going to eventually come out. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, there's no difference between whether it's only going to come out through vomiting or no by any other means. So that's why I said كل بينما إذا انحصر إخراجه. It was limited. The taking out was limited. There's no difference in the ruling in whether the taking such object out was limited to vomiting or not limited to it. Ruling number 1012. Now this is what people think. This is what people think. ليس من المفطرات. It is not from the invalidators. What? مص الخاتم. Like this aqiq sometimes, or some kind of the gyms, they are cold. So many times, you know, like people, they will do suckling to the they will like they will have this kind of cooling down by sucking their ring. So like remember, it is mentioned in the day of Ashura that when Ali al-Akbar, it's like a historical thing, God knows best. So Ali al-Akbar comes to Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam and he complains the thirst. So Imam Hussein gives him the ring to keep it on his tongue. Okay, so therefore, so there are people, they get benefit, especially if the aqiq stone was bigger. So they put on the tongue, so it might cool down a little bit. The dry, I have not tried it. You can try it, but not in these fasting days when you're not fasting. So you can fast because there's no problem in it. You can put the ring on the tongue as long as it's dry and check out what happens. I have not tried it. So ليس من المفطرات مص الخاتم, to suck the ring. So ليس من المفطرات مص الخاتم, sucking the ring. ومضغ الطعام للصبي, and chewing, because the baby sometimes they can't chew, so, or an elderly person, so you chew the food and give it to them. وذوق الطعام ذوق المرق ونحوها مما لا يتعدى إلى الحلق, and tasting the food, wife or mother or somebody's cooking, okay, or chef is cooking in the restaurant, and he needs to taste the food. So he puts the food on the tongue, tastes it and spits it. If you delicious and swallow it, then there's qadha and kafara. Or accidentally swallowed it, there's nothing. Or yeah, so those are the two cases of swallowing the food while tasting. So tasting of the food while cooking the stew, وَنَحْوِيَ, like, and then spit it out, not swallow it. مِمَّا لَا يَتَعَدَّى الْحَلَقِ, anything which is in the mouth area does not invalidate. Whatever goes beyond the throat, that invalidates the fast. So there's no problem in it. He says something which does not go to the throat, or even if it went to the throat without intention. Obviously, fast is intentional based ibadat. So as long as he has not made an intention to swallow, there is no problem. أو نسيان للصوم, he's cooking and then he's reciting his noas, and then suddenly he's tasting, and he's used to taste and swallow. So he tastes and swallows it. Oh my goodness, I'm fasting. So then no problem. If you forgot, no problem. Okay. So now, أو تعدى من غير قصد. It went inside without any. So you were tasting the soup and somebody patted you on back. So it went inside. You did not make an intention for that. أو نسيانا للصوم. Forgot about the fasting. أما ما يتعدى عمدا. As for the thing goes intentionally inside, obviously, tasty, delicious soup inside. فمبطل وإن قل, then it's going to invalidate, even if the amount was was less. Even if the amount was less. Now we come to the chewing gum part. Finally, Ayatollah Sistani gave in the declaration of COVID-19 Masail that if your mouth is dry, then you can chew a gum. I have a separate video on our Al-Qaim Hawza. Just check it out, okay? Finally, Ayatollah. So I have been telling this mas'ala to the communities for years. And they were not expecting, oh, how can we chew a gum in the fast and the day of Ramadan? How can we chew? There's been a lot of protest. This is in the book of Ayatollah Sistani, long time. Even Ayatollah Khui. What is chewing gum? Chewing gum is a piece of plastic revolving in your mouth. You are not swallowing it. So if the chewing gum doesn't have this extra coating which goes inside the throat, doesn't have extra stuff, it's just a gum base, you can put a gum base like those natural chewing gums. But then he says the condition is that it should not break down and you cannot swallow the breaking down. Obviously, that's invalidator. But he said that another thing, even if the taste of the chewing gum is found in his saliva, there is no problem in this saliva. What else? What more you want? Even Agha allows you to have a chewing gum in your fast. We tell this to the people who are fasting this lengthy fast in Sweden and these places. The youth, they want to break the fast. We give them chewing gum as a solution, of course, with this condition. So basically, now because of the COVID-19 people, they said the mouth is dry and this and that, and we need to keep taking water and sips of water. So Allah says that is not proven until now. Let's say if it is proven, okay, then you can take chewing gum in the mouth and keep chewing with this condition that particles does not break down and swallow. And even if there was and there was no sugar coating and no extra things on the gum. So what happens, like for example, you chew a gum in the Sahri time and take it out and put it in a nice piece of plastic, wash it, put it in a nice piece of cellophane or plastic or foil. I'm not doing this, but people, if they want, they can do. Keep it in the fridge. And then when you feel you're thirsty, you need to do something, you take out, make sure it's dry, and then put it in the mouth. The gum base only, because after you chew a gum, after some time, it becomes just a gum base. Even if there is a mild taste in it, doesn't affect. وَكَذَا لَا بَأْسَ بِمَضْغِ الْعِلَكِ وَإِنْ وُجِدَ لَهُ طَعْمٌ فِي رِيقِهِ. Even if he finds taste of it in his saliva. مَا لَمْ يَكُنْ لِتَفَتُّتِ أَجْزَائِهِ. If it was not for the breaking of its particles. In that case, the saliva should not be swallowed. Okay, if it breaks down, then saliva should not be swallowed. Inshallah, we'll meet tomorrow with more ahkam and more masail. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين. محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على